right, we're back. Graveyard Shift Movie Podcast, episode number 110. This week,
Holy fuck, I just realized we started. I was like, what?
you're like, what's he doing?
I completely zoned out. And you were like, all right, I guess we should start. And
You
then
were-
you just went into it. And I was like, ah.
You were like, he does have a brain tumor. He doesn't even know what he's saying. This week, special recommended pick from longtime viewer Papa Hades, checking out Zombieland from 2009, which I've seen it a bunch. Tyler, is this your second time watching it, or third or fourth? Or fifth?
Probably like fifth.
Yeah. No, well, that's good. So neither one of us first time watching, but it's been a while since I watched it. I watched that sequel when it came out like 2 years ago or whatever. Was not a fan.
Wish we would have watched that one instead.
I don't think so.
Just because we've seen this one so much. Like, I want to say I could have bagged this and just went off what I saw. Like, you know how he just didn't watch that one movie and he was like, didn't I remember a dog with a hat?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
no.
yeah. God, what movie was that? Yeah, he just didn't watch it. I think it might have been The Faculty. He was like, I remember it. And then we started talking about stuff and he was like, oh, maybe I should have watched it. Very Bags move. But yeah, anyway, I feel like we're going to have a big, well, we always have disagreements on this show, but I feel like me and Tyler are going to be on very different spectrums. Hey, I'm on the spectrum. But
Horrible joke. Horrible.
but different realms with this movie. This movie, so keep in mind when this thing came out, this was like zombies were not a big thing yet. It was like 2 more years and then Walking Dead came out and then zombies were like the it thing. Everyone started making zombie shit. And like zombies had sort of gone away.
Sorry, that's just a weird phrasing.
Yeah.
Everyone made the zombie shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Yeah. So this sort of like, this was credited a lot with like revitalizing zombie shit. So it was, and then when they did Zombieland Double Tap, they dealt with a lot of like, oh, hey, I know the zombie market's kind of crowded right now. So, thanks for choosing this movie, But anyway, so I really liked it. Me and my dad both really liked it when it came out. And I still really like it now. I don't like it as much as when I had watched it the first time. And I think that happens with a lot of movies. They kind of lose their, you know what to expect. And plus, there's so much zombie shit nowadays. It's kind of, it's like we see this stuff. But I'm still going to give it a 7.5. I think it's really good. It's just it's a short little, like there's no, honestly, I think this cast might be a shorter than what we've done recently, because like plot wise it's not a plot heavy movie. It's just sort of some shits and giggles and some zombie killing stuff, but yeah, I think it's a good time. I'm gonna give it a 7.5, and this is when we go over Tyler, who's gonna feel the same way I do. Go ahead, Tyler.
Great movie. Amazing movie. If
That was a close one. Go ahead.
I didn't think of the witty thing to say, but
Yeah.
the first time you watch it is good. The second time you watch it with a buddy, you're like, see, that's the joke. And the third time you watch it, you go, all right. Okay.
Yeah.
And I think it just runs its course. Surprisingly enough, couple jump scares.
Couple jump scares, yeah.
Not too shabby.
Couple jokes. A couple jokes in there still made me giggle. I was like, there's one that's really good. That's my favorite. I'll get to that later.
And so okay. I'm gonna give this movie like a 5. But
that's not bad.
I really see myself as Woody Harrelson in this movie.
I figured, yeah.
And I feel like that's like a fucking Chad thing to say, right?
Yeah, like I'm Woody Harrelson.
Like, I feel like I'd be him. Yeah, like
yeah. I will say, Do you remember that time frame when this movie came out, when all the memes and shit, before memes became video and they were just picture memes, and all the memes were like "nut up" or "shut up," and that was like the big thing from the movie. If watching it again, it was like, ooh, not a very cool catchphrase.
But like, even though it's not cool, I could totally see myself saying that.
Yeah,
I think I have said that before.
probably. Yeah,
So.
but anyway, all right. Well, hey, spoiler warning for Zombieland if you've somehow never seen it. We're gonna ruin everything about it. So you've been warned. First off, Tyler, who was your least favorite part of this movie? Because Papa Hades had a prediction.
I hate Jesse Eisenberg as a person, but my least favorite's got to be Emma Stone.
Emma Stone, yeah. Let me tell you, I have hated those characters from the first time I watched this movie to now, and then it's like at one point Jesse Eisenberg is like, I know that wherever she's going, that's where I want to go. Literally every interaction they've had with these characters up to this point is them stealing their cars and their guns and making fun of them. They picked them up the one time at gunpoint. And then they drove for like 2 hours, and then he was like, I wanna, which I get, maybe his character is like he's the virgin nerd, just chasing after the hot girl the whole time. So I guess you kind of play it as that. But never once was it like, does this seem like you should like these people, Jesse? Yeah.
Well, it's the original simp, right? Like
the original simp.
There's even a part.
I think Forrest Gump's the original simp.
Oh god. There's a part in the movie where I just wanted
simple-minded too.
I have to edit that one into next week's cast. It took so long.
This is the brain tumor.
It's the brain tumor. It's got you slowed up a bit.
Go ahead, yeah.
But when she's like, he likes bad boys, and he just knocks the popcorn over.
The popcorn over, yeah.
I was like, well, fucking punch this dude in his shit. Like, I wasn't a fan. I was like, what?
Yeah.
That's
Papa Hades'
I would
prediction
shove Maverick over for.
Yeah. His prediction was that he was like, I bet Tyler's going to hate Jesse Eisenberg in this movie. I think he put it on the Fly video because you were talking about how much you hated Jeff Goldblum. So I felt like I had to bring it up.
Him as Lex Luthor, I was just cemented my hate.
Dude, his Lex Luthor is terrible. Like,
but I don't know if you ever watched Catch Me If You Can. It's like the magician movie or whatever.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
He's really good in it. Like, I enjoy him in that.
Yeah.
Which is more than I can say for Forrest Whitaker. So, it's
I haven't watched the first one. I never watched that second one. With fucking Harry Potter. Isn't he in the sequel?
I don't remember.
It happened. Forrest Whitaker? Is he in that movie?
No, I just hate him.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm gonna bring up my hatred for him.
Just every time.
And every video we do, it's the new elevated horror.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like, hey, fuck Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah.
What's he gonna do? Fight me? He can't see me if I come from the right. Like, I'm good. I'm right-handed too. Or wait, is it his left eye? I don't know. But either way, he's getting caught with one of these hooks. Right?
Yeah.
Winky bastard.
All right. Well, hey, movie starts off. We're in
Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah, with Forrest Whitaker. He's a zombie now. His eyes fallen out at this point. We get a voiceover by Jesse Eisenberg. He's the narrator throughout the movie. He welcomes us to the United States of Zombieland. United States is no longer a place. We get the cool, it like zooms out and you see the world and it's just like on fire and shit.
It's weird. And then they zoom in, it's just normal.
Yeah, like not on fire.
Yeah, I was like, all
right. Jesse Eisenberg here starts to tell us about his rules for the zombie apocalypse, which is a running thing throughout the movie. And it's basically simple shit, like rule 1 is cardio, and he's talking about, listen, when the zombie apocalypse happened, first people that went were the fatties, and you see like the fat guy getting chased by the zombies, and he gets fucking eaten. Rule 2, which honestly I feel like should be rule 1, is the double tap, which is something we've been saying every movie we ever watch, which is like, hey, you better hit that motherfucker again, you know? And so always make sure your people are, or the people are dead. And then rule 3 is avoid toilets. I only bring that one up because we see Ned Schneebly from School of Rock get murdered on the toilet by a zombie.
Was he not the guy at the gas station?
Yeah, he was the guy at the gas station.
Why is he in this movie twice?
I don't know. Well, they had to give you... I guess because since, like, he gets killed on the toilet, then maybe they sort of... they sort of paint him as, like, the sleazy dude at the gas station to be like, see, he had a gun. I don't know. It's Ned Schneebly, man.
Why is he a sleazy dude, though?
I don't know.
Like, So, spoiler alert, the girls are con artists. But, like, I feel like nothing he did would have won. Like, say they came up and he was like, yo, this lady lost that ring and she's offering a $3,000 reward.
Yeah.
But, you know, we can call her, we'll get it, and, you know, and you can have it or whatever, right?
Yeah.
They would have been like, just give me all the money in the register. They'd be like, what?
Uh-huh. Yeah, no, maybe he's not like a sleazy dude, but, you know. But anyway, I don't know. Put him in the movie twice. The fat guy in the beginning who gets eaten is in the movie twice.
Is he?
Yeah.
One of the zombies later in the
yeah, he's the fat one who, you got a pretty mouth. And then he hits him with the banjo. That's the fat guy who gets chewed up. Anyway, also in this beginning section, we see some zombie kids, which I only mentioned because it's rare you get zombie kids. It's something zombie movies stay away from, it seems like, is the zombie kids. I can't think of another movie we've watched that's had one.
Oh, do you count Pet Sematary?
Yeah, maybe. But we haven't watched that.
Oh, wow. I wanted to do a Stephen King thon, but you vetoed my Cujo.
I did. Anyway.
Kid zombies.
Yeah. I can't think of. Like, even in...
Wasn't there one in 28 Days? The attacks...
is it in the church or whatever? Where those...
yeah,
the one...
to the house or whatever.
Yeah, it's the one that runs up on him all silent.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And it does a cool camera view of it.
Yeah. That's right. Anyway, we get our title or our credit intro here, and it's over. For whom the bell tolls, and we get a bunch of scenes in like slow-mo of people getting chewed by zombies and fucking people getting fucked up and shit.
Hold on, can I go on a rant here for a second?
All right, go ahead.
We're both enjoyers of fine music.
Yeah.
Did either one of us not know Metallica before this fucking Stranger Things came out?
Is that what you're bringing?
Because it seems like every fucking asshole is like, whoa, Rod! And I'm like, where have you? This has been out for 40 years
They
now.
don't know, Tyler.
Everyone's like, do y'all heard of a band named Metallica? And I'm like,
the only thing that's bothered me, and I'm not even like a big music nerd, but it's made me feel like one, is because people are like, oh man, watch the video of the guy practicing the solo for Master of Puppets, but it's the opening riff. It's not a solo, and I'm this isn't. But I don't know. I was gonna even mention this title sequence is fucking great, and the song goes perfect with what they're doing. The sequel, they try to relive the opening title sequence, but they do it with Master of Puppets, and it does not fit as well because it's still like the slow mo, but it's like bam, 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 bam. It's the faster. This is more of a slowed down, evil sound than Metallica song. And Master of Puppets doesn't work as good in the sequel. But anyway, shout out to Stranger Things Metallica.
It was a good use of Metallica here.
Contrary to that, Tyler, how many people do you think go to Metallica shows and have no idea what the fuck the movie is they play at the beginning of their shows?
That's probably all of them.
All of them, yeah. They're like, what is this? Why is Clint Eastwood shooting a cannon at a Mexican?
It's probably okay, let me rephrase that. Not all of them. None of the people standing up know where it's from.
Yeah.
Everyone's sitting down is like, lust for gold or whatever it is. What's the name of the song?
The name for the song is like...
Isn't it Lust for Gold or...
It's like Euphoria of Gold or something like that.
Or something, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, but anyway.
Anyway, also in the opening credits, there's randomly a Scarface impersonator shooting a fucking gun.
Yeah.
Which, it's whatever. You can do that. After that, we see Jesse Eisenberg walking around. He lets us know that it's been 2 months since Zombieland started after someone ate a contaminated burger. So that's how all this got started. Someone ate I think it's a contaminated gas station burger. He might have even added. He has a little scrimmage. He has a little chase around at a gas station when he's trying to fill up his car, where these two zombies fucking chase him around. He's trying to like unlock the car. He drops keys and he's like,
that was pretty clever, right? It was pretty witty.
Yeah. I don't know why in a situation like this you would ever lock your car when you get out, which we see when eventually he gets back. He didn't lock the car, like it's unlocked, but it's just like, why would you lock it? You're standing right there, you know? But
I don't understand the zombies in this film.
Yeah, what about it?
Sometimes they're smart, sometimes they're stupid. Like, they run around in circles.
Uh-huh.
But then one of the zombies has the wherewithal to, like, hey, I'm going to climb in the back seat.
Yeah. He's a sneaky boy.
And later on, all the zombies are like, girls are on the thingy, and they do nothing for, like, 5 hours. And then you look, and they're like, hey, we're climbing ladders. Yeah. And it's like, what?
Well, to be fair, in the sequel, they do explain that, which they have broken down. Like, there's different levels of zombies. And there's, like, the dumb ones. And then there's the ones that are clever, and they know how to open doors and shit. And then there's, like... so they do explain it more in the sequel. But, yeah, in this one, it's just sort of, it's just sort of a shit show.
I am going to... bring up one other thing then.
Okay.
Fucking what's his Woody Harrelson?
Yep.
For some reason I wanted to call him Texarkana. I don't know why. He's Florida, isn't he, or something? Anyway.
Is he Tallahassee? Yeah.
He's Tallahassee. The end. Spoiler.
Yeah.
He jumps in that cage and he closes those gates.
Yeah.
And there's nothing to stop the zombies from just opening.
Yeah. One of my biggest complaints about this movie, and I don't know if they had a sequel planned, or what they should have killed Woody Harrelson at the end of this movie. Like, we'll get to it, but when he's jumping in there and it's playing like the cool ass like violin music or whatever in the back, and he's like setting up the magazines on the thing, and it's That's this cool. Really cool last stand, and then it kind of is wasted because he lives. And I get, like, Woody Harrelson, he's the cool guy in the movie or whatever. But yeah, I feel like they should have killed him to add, like, an emotional oomph at the end. Like, oh, Woody Harrelson sacrificed himself for these people, because he's been so much a lone wolf and he doesn't want to get close to people. And then at the end of the movie, he's giving his life for someone, you know? But, haha, clown zombie. Yeah, so anyway, like Tyler mentioned, Jesse Eisenberg eventually gets back in his car. He starts driving away, but then there's a zombie in his backseat, and he's like, oh shit. So luckily, one of his rules is seatbelts, so he has a seatbelt on, so he can just drive into like the poles in front of the liquor store to stop the drunks from driving in, and the zombie goes flying out. I do like that when the zombie's trying to climb back in through the broken glass, he's like using the wiper blades to try to stop it from coming in. I thought that was funny. Yeah, he shoots the zombie and goes about on his way again. We see that car is like totaled, so the next time we see him, he's walking along the highway. And this is when Woody Harrelson pulls up for the first time in this black fucking Cadillac Escalade that he's got like the Ram thing on the front grille, and he's painted Dale Earnhardt's number on the side. And he pulls up. Jesse Eisenberg like takes cover behind a fucking moped and is aiming like his shotgun at him. And I always enjoyed, and I'm sure you'll know, but I always enjoyed Woody Harrelson's gun in this movie, where he's got the holster, and it's just like a mini Winchester looking shit.
It's Call of Duty, the 1886 yeah.
Oh yeah, is that what it is?
It's
Okay.
the classic gun. Yeah, it's super awesome. It's also called the Mare's Leg. There's a bunch of different versions. His is like the cut down,
Yeah.
but the Mare's Leg's one that's like made like that.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking amazing. I would buy you one if I had the money.
Oh, well, that's nice.
$1,500.
Okay. um. Yeah, so they have a little standoff, and then eventually Jesse Eisenberg like puts up the thumb to ask for a ride, and Woody Harrelson's like, get in, and then he kicks over like the moped before he goes and gets in. As they are about to take off, we see that Jesse Eisenberg has added a new rule, which is check the back seats. So he's always like adding shit. As they go, it's not like you literally just got introduced to Woody Harrelson's character, and then the next scene he's like, "We gotta go get some fucking Twinkies." Like that's the introduction to his character. So he pulls over on the side of the road. There's a hostess truck like that's careened off, and he's gonna go down there and get some Twinkies. Jesse Eisenberg starts fucking stretching like he's Maverick. He's like, you gotta fucking stretch before you work out and shit, you know? But Woody Harrelson is like, I ain't playing that shit. Lions don't have to stretch, you know? So they go down and they open up the truck, but it's just full of fucking snowballs. And so Woody Harrelson's like, God damn snowballs. Which I feel that pain because he's like, I hate coconut, and I also hate coconut. So I would be upset at the snow, which is fucked up because they make snowballs look so cute and delicious with their little pink outside, and then you eat it and it's like, ugh. What's up?
I'm not cute. I don't know about cute.
This is I cover my Christmas tree with them. How about that?
Really?
Yeah. So anyway, we're they keep driving. Jesse Eisenberg mentions as they're talking how he's like afraid of clowns. This will be like his only mention of it really. That he's afraid of clowns, and that's just for like one moment at the end. He takes us back to when the zombie outbreak first started, where he was chilling alone in his apartment, playing some World of Warcraft, drinking Code Red Mountain Dew, and spending another weekend inside. When he got a knock on his door, a frantic knock from his hot neighbor down the hall, who barged 406. There you go. And
I think maybe 426. I don't know.
Something 406 sounds right. She busts in and he's like, hey, come in, you know. And she talks about how she got chased by like a homeless guy and he tried to bite her and all this shit. And Jesse Eisenberg's just like, oh, yeah, you should be afraid. That's pretty scary, you know. And she's like, hey, can I sleep here for the night? And he's like, yeah, you know. So she like gives him a kiss on the cheek and cuddles up to him. And he's like, I always wanted to brush a girl's hair behind her ears. And so he's like brushing her hair and he's, you know, all about it. I do find it weird that, you know, she was in her apartment. So unless she just wanted to be with someone, that she just wouldn't go back in her apartment. Like at that point, she's safe, right? You would think, unless the homeless guy was still following her. But, you know, whatever. So they pass out. And when Jesse Eisenberg wakes up the next morning, she's a zombie. First zombie he's encountered. He tries to get away from her. He ends up like going in the bathroom and closing the door, but she gets her foot in there and it like breaks her ankle and shit. The bone pops out. I do enjoy the little slapstick shit where she's like on top of him and he's in the bathroom, so he's trying to hit her with stuff, but all he has is like toilet paper, fucking napkins or whatever, and nothing hard. And then he gets up and he grabs a toilet lid cover and he uses that to hit her. And I was like, literally, the last episode watching Black Phone, we talk about why the kid just didn't use the toilet lid cover. Which, after, you know, saying that, I did think to myself, like, well, the guy knew about the phone, so it didn't look as that weird with him holding the phone. I guess if he was holding the toilet lid, the guy would know he was going to use it on him, but whatever. So yeah, he hits her in the head. He goes backpedaling down the hallway, and then she comes stumbling back down at him, and he ends up using the toilet lid cover again to finish her off this time. This is also when he says that mad cow disease mutated into mad human disease, and that's what. So I guess the fucking burger the guy ate was a mad cow burger, and so it started mad human, and it made all these people angry. Remember Mad Cow, Tyler? That was crazy. That was gonna destroy the world. People were gonna
right, yeah,
go crazy. I think it didn't. Isn't there some country that it fucked everything up recently? It came back or something?
I'm not sure. I think Europe, maybe.
Maybe. I think I remember hearing it came back and then started getting crazy and shit. Also, speaking of diseases, everyone's been talking about monkeypox, and I don't know what I assumed it was. And then the other day I found out it was chickenpox, and it was but it was monkeypox, and I was like, oh shit. Well, never mind. I don't know what I thought it was, but apparently this one could kill you. So anyway, we get a little another part of them talking. A lot of this movie, this early part, is just Jesse Eisenberg and Woody Harrelson talking. And Jesse Eisenberg's talking about how I hear fucking California's good or whatever. I don't remember what part of the country he said. But Woody Harrelson's you can't just say that shit. That's like penguins in the North Pole being I hear the South Pole is good this time of year, And Jesse Eisenberg's there are no penguins in the North Pole. And there's a little pause, and then Woody Harrelson's you want to feel how hard I can punch? And that's a good one. I like that one.
Again, I used to punch you just to see if it hurt, remember?
You did. This is also another thing that reminded me, because then they get back in their the car, and they come across a zombie eating this dude on the highway, and Woody Harrelson goes around her and then just opens up the door and hits her in the head, and he's as he's driving by, and I was that's some shit we would do. That's good. They go to a grocery store, and they're here once again, try to find some Twinkies for Woody Harrelson. They gear up before they go inside. This is the first time that Woody Harrelson drops the nut up or shut up line. They go inside. Woody Harrelson plays the song from Deliverance on a banjo to get the zombies to come out. And when they do, one of them is the fat guy from the beginning who got chewed up, and another one. And Woody Harrelson does the Deliverance where you got a pretty mouth, boy, and he hits him in the face. Yeah, they kill these.
Deliverance, though, is it? I thought that was Sling Blade.
Sling Blade?
Maybe I'm wrong.
Were they fucking
You
Carl?
got a pretty mouth, boy. Yeah, anyways.
Oh.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I hope so.
I do too.
So, anyway, yeah, they kill these zombies, and then they're walking through the store, and as people who have worked in grocery stores, the aisle they were walking down, I could not figure it out, because they had condiments, they had crackers, and they had juice and soda on one aisle. And I was like, what kind of... what are they doing here? This is not how it works. I could not stop looking at it.
Well, I mean, back in our olden days...
Yeah.
Aisle 5 had crackers and juice.
Well, yeah, but that made sense. But crackers and ranch? No, sir, I refuse.
They ranch flavored goldfish, or that word.
Anyway, they go to the back doors of the store, and this is where they meet Emma Stone for the first time. She comes walking out, and she's like, "Oh, hey, come back here. I need your help." So they follow her back into the back room, where we meet her little sister, who it turns out that her little sister has been bit. And so they're like, ah, shit, we gotta kill her, Jesse Eisenberg can't do it, so Woody Harrelson is like, well, I'll do it, So he takes the gun, he, gives her a little pat on the head, and then he puts the gun up to his head, and it's a good thing that, fucking Emma Stone, because as soon as he puts it up, Emma Stone's like, oh, wait, I'll do it, Because I was thinking, if they waited for, a second, Woody Harrelson seemed like the type of guy who would just immediately, and just blow her head off. Um, but she's like, oh, I'll do it, you know? So she takes the gun. She, like, leans over and is like, I love you to her sister or whatever. And the sister's like, I love you too. And then she immediately, like, turns around with the gun. And she's like, haha, you can give us your guns and shit. So they're getting robbed. It was a trap. The girls steal all their weapons, and then they steal their car, and they take off. As they're in the car, Emma Stone talks about how they're going to Pacific Playland because it's the only zombie-free area in America for like however 100 many miles or whatever. Woody Harrelson and Jesse Eisenberg are on foot. They come across a Hummer full of guns. Woody Harrelson's like, thank God for rednecks. And then he's like outside just pouring rounds into the sky. And he paints a 3 on the side. And they have a new whip now. As they're driving, we get some more Woody Harrelson backstory where he tells Jesse Eisenberg how he doesn't have a home to go to. And he did before the apocalypse started. He had a puppy named Buck, who he loved that puppy. And then the zombies took him away from him. And so he doesn't have anywhere to call home, you know. They come across the old whip that I guess broke down or ran out of gas, so it's got help painted on the side. And so Woody Harrelson's like, you stay here. I'm going to go up and investigate. And Jesse Eisenberg is like, you going to shoot him? And he's like, not unless they shoot at me. And then he's walking away, and he's like, please, God, let them shoot at me, you know. So he walks all the way up there. He looks around. No one's there. So he whistles down for Jesse Eisenberg. And Jesse comes driving down. And Woody gets back in the Hummer. And he's like, they're nowhere to be seen, you know. And Jesse Eisenberg's like, uh-huh. And he's just like not saying anything really. And so Woody Harrelson's like, they're in the back seat, aren't they? And the little sister pops up. She's got the little gun pointed at his dome piece. And she's like, all right, give us your guns, you know. And they got again. She makes him ring honk the horn. And the sister's like hiding behind like a hay barrel or not hay barrel. What do you call it? Hay bale. That's it.
Yeah.
Also, this is when Woody Harrelson's like, you ain't gonna shoot that thing. And she like shoots it up into the sky. And Woody Harrelson's like, please don't kill me by my own gun. He's like, yeah. So this is when they get like taken hostage. And Woody Harrelson's in the back seat with the little sister, and the little sister's like pointing the gun at him, and Jesse Eisenberg's in the front seat. Emma Stone and them are like, you guys aren't the first people we've conned, and this is when we get the backstory, and it shows Ed Schneebly at the gas station. And her, like, in a short skirt, like, crouched down looking for a wedding ring. And she tells him that it's worth $3,000, or she'll give him $3,000 for it. And then, like, the next day, the little sister has a ring. And, you know, so the guy asks for it, but she's like, well, what are you going to give me? So he gives her everything out of the register. And then he gets the ring. But it ends up being that, like, it's a fake plastic ring. And they've been doing this to get across the country. And so that's how they've been making their living. Back in the real timeline, Woody Harrelson steals his gun back, and they have a little standoff, but Jesse Eisenberg like yells at them all. He's like, why are we doing this? We got enough to worry about. He's like the fuckers who watch The Walking Dead, and they're like, I don't understand why the people start killing each other. Wouldn't they be worried about the zombies? And I'm always like, people are just dying to kill other people. What do you mean? So they get their guns back. They, I guess, decide to just forget about everything that happened and drive together, which kind of seems unreasonable to me, especially with Woody Harrelson's character. Jesse Eisenberg asked them if they've heard anything about Columbus, Ohio, because that's where he's on his way to. His family's there. He says like they were never very close, but he just wants to see a familiar face. And Emma Stone is like, that place is a fucking ghost town. It got burnt to the ground and shit. And then Woody Harrelson like nudges her, and she realizes that like he had people there and shit. So she's like, my bad, you know. That night is when Emma Stone stops and is gonna let Jesse Eisenberg out to like take a truck and like go his own way. And then Jesse Eisenberg is like, as I looked at her, I realized I wanted to go wherever this woman was going. And I was like, dude, they've just like literally they were taking you hostage 2 hours ago. What do you mean? But he just, he simp like we discussed. So he's just like, I'm going with her. They pull up to what nowadays I assume would be a very offensive Native American store. And they get out to go in there. We see they've been talking about Zombie Kill of the Week throughout the movie, and we get a little thing of Zombie Kill of the Week is this nun who like has a zombie chasing her, and she pulls a lever, and a piano falls down and crushes her. Apparently, Tyler, I had read before that this movie was supposed to be a TV show. Like, this whole thing was going to be a show. And the thing, every week, they were going to have Zombie Kill of the Week. And it was going to be, like, different things. And so then when they condensed the whole show into one movie, they just added that little element. So that's where Zombie Kill of the Week came in. As they're in the store, Woody Harrelson catches Jesse Eisenberg putting on some cologne. And he's, like, making fun of him because he's like, you're trying to fuck Wichita over there. And Jesse Eisenberg's like, no, I'm not, And so Woody Harrelson, like, turns around and Jesse Eisenberg, like, sprays him in the back with the cologne. And the way that Woody Harrelson just turns around, like, fucking just looking at him is pretty good. They start breaking shit in this fucking store. And all I could think of was if they broke all this shit and then they look over and it's like the Doors with the Indian dude, just the single yeah. He's just crying. And they're like, ooh, my bad, So they break all this shit. This is all about just enjoying like the little things and just having fun while you can. And, it's pretty fun breaking shit. So, that's what you got to do. They get to Hollywood, California. And they decide they're going to sleep in style. So they get a map of all the famous people's houses. And Woody Harrelson's like, I got the perfect place we're going to stay. And this is probably the most famous part of the movie coming up, where Woody Harrelson takes them to a house, but he doesn't tell them who it is. As they pull in, we see a big BM on like the gate outside. And then as soon as you walk in, you see like paintings of like Bill Murray everywhere. And
Billy Madison. Oh,
yeah, I wish it was Billy Madison. And he's like, "Welcome to Casa de la Murray." So they're at Bill Murray's house. Fucking the little sister has no idea who Bill Murray's house is, and Woody Harrelson's like, "I've never punched a kid before, but I'm getting pretty fucking close, Turns out they have like he has a theater in his house, so Jesse Eisenberg just like takes her into the theater, and he's like, I'm gonna show you who Bill Murray is. So he like puts on Ghostbusters because that's the only movie that anyone ever puts on of Bill Murray for some reason when they talk about him.
Really? Like,
it
I think
seems like
Caddyshack.
it. No one ever, yeah, but it's always like Ghostbusters, and it's like, yeah, but Ghostbusters is like a 4-man thing,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like he has other shit to put on. But anyway, go ahead. What were you saying?
Did you ever see Scrooge?
No, I never watched it.
It's like one of the best Bill Murray movies of all time.
Yeah.
And it's a Christmas movie, so
I don't know, man.
Probably the best.
Life Christmas. Aquatic, pretty good. Yeah, so they're watching Ghostbusters. Woody Harrelson and Emma Stone are in another room. And as they're in the room, we cut over and we see someone waking up. And then we go back to Emma Stone and Woody Harrelson. And in comes walking zombie Bill Murray, who's like, and he's coming right at Woody Harrelson. And Woody Harrelson's like, Bill Murray, you're a zombie? And he's like getting right at him. And then Emma Stone comes up and whacks him in the back with a golf club. And Bill Murray's like, ow! Ow! He's like, oh shit. So it turns out he was just goofing. He's not a zombie at all. And Woody Harrelson starts freaking out. He's like, Bill fucking Murray. He's like, I've seen all your shit. He's like, I even loved your dramatic roles. And I was like, yeah, Bill Murray's a good dramatic actor. And then this was the first time I've ever put it together that as he's like, I've seen every movie you've ever done. I was like, well, hey, wait a minute. I was like, you guys were in a movie together. Like, I guess Kingpin doesn't exist in this universe.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I forgot about that.
I know.
Great movie, though.
It's a great movie. Yeah, I never put it together until watching this. This is when my favorite joke of the movie is Emma Stone just keeps staring at Bill Murray, and Bill Murray's like, it's a hairpiece, you know, because he's wearing like this wig. And she's like, oh, thank God. You know, she's like, you looked exactly like Eddie Van Halen. And he's like, oh, yeah, I saw Eddie Van Halen the other week. And Woody Harrelson's like, no shit, how is he? And Bill Murray goes, he's a zombie. And Woody Harrelson goes, oh. That's my favorite joke of the whole movie. He's a zombie. And oh. So, we get a couple slappy, silly scenes of Woody Harrelson and Bill Murray like recreating Ghostbusters with vacuum cleaners and shit. And then eventually they decide that they want to pull a prank on Jesse Eisenberg, so they like lead them to the theater, and he's like, "All right, I'll get him." So he goes walking in, doing the whole zombie shtick, and Jesse Eisenberg just stands up and just opens up a double barrel straight into his chest. And shoots Bill Murray, and Woody Harrelson and them are like, no, what did you do? And it takes a minute for him to realize, like, oh shit, I just shot Bill Murray, you know? And so Bill Murray's dying. I do enjoy Woody Harrelson asking Bill Murray, he's like, do you think you'll pull through? And Bill Murray like takes the time to turn and look at Jesse Eisenberg in the eyes and go, no. So he's dying. He gets asked if he has any regrets, and he's like, Garfield, which Garfield to Bill Murray is like Goldberg to Bret Hart, where every interview he does, he just shits on Garfield and shit, and I love it. And then he's dying, and he gives a super long like so long to the point that he has to stop, take another breath, and then and die again. And Emma Stone can't help but laugh as he dies and shit. And it was pretty good. Bill Murray's probably the best part of the movie, and it's probably the most famous part of the movie as well. So he's dead. They like dump him over the side of the house in a carpet, and they like give a fucking 10-gun salute or whatever. Jesse Eisenberg has to reload because he has a double barrel and shit. That night they're sitting around playing Monopoly, and this is when Woody Harrelson finally lets it slip that Buck the puppy wasn't a puppy at all. It was a human baby boy. Not only a human baby boy, but his baby boy. And he had a son. He had a son. And
you kept doubling down. I was like, it's gotta end.
When's it gonna stop? So he had a son who the zombies, I assume, killed some way. So
I think he died in a pool, a drowning accident.
Damn.
Yeah. It makes the whole story not good, right?
No, it's just a zombie. Yeah, if it wasn't a zombie, if it was just a tragedy. But do you know, speaking of tragedies, did I tell you this? Do you know how Eric Clapton's son died?
Yeah, he fell off the balcony.
Yeah, do you know what floor?
7th floor.
It was the 56th floor.
Did you know in heaven was
I did. The only reason I know this is because I was watching Anthony Jeselnik, and he had a joke where he goes, my son died in the same way Eric Clapton's son died. And like some people giggle and some people are like, oh, and he's like, if you don't get that joke, it's okay. There's a couple parts of that joke you gotta understand. First, you gotta know who Eric Clapton is nowadays. That's not always a guarantee. Second, you gotta know about his son, how clumsy that little rascal was. And like, I was like, what is that? I couldn't understand the joke. Now I looked it up and I was like, oh, goddamn. I always assumed like he had like a birth defect or something. I didn't know he fucking fell off a building. But anyway,
Yeah, some say drug use was involved.
with Eric Clapton, no. Um, anyway,
I don't know when you're not trying to be norm and when you are. But someone like Eric Clapton, you know, like, I'm just like, I just don't know.
Yeah. You know, Eric Clapton has stated that white people do a certain music better than a certain other demographic. That's something else he doesn't like to talk about from his past anymore. So anyway,
The poor,
the poor, yeah. So anyway, over in the other room later that night, Jesse Eisenberg and Emma Stone start like slow dancing and shit, and they're kind of flirting, and then they're about to make out when Woody Harrelson busts in, and he's like, "Come on, help move the couches. We're making a fort." And he like goes back out. He's been taking target practice with the little sister in a different room. So that ends that night, and the next morning they wake up, and Emma Stone and the little sister have stolen the Hummer, and they've taken off once again. The girls end up making it to Pacific Playland, and they get there, and they turn on the power to all the rides, and then of course it cuts outside, and we see all the zombies notice like all these fucking big lights and loud sounds kick on, and so they start just running over to the amusement park. Emma Stone and them are like on the Viking ride, going up and down when they see the zombies coming in, and they're like, "Oh shit," you know. Jesse Eisenberg back at Bill Murray's house tells Woody Harrelson that he's gonna go find Emma Stone, but Woody Harrelson's like, "You're better on your own, you know. You don't need to be getting attached to people and shit." But Jesse Eisenberg is like, "Listen, they were in someone's wallet too. The picture of the wallet, because Woody Harrelson showed them a picture of his son." So Jesse Eisenberg and them are splitting up. Woody Harrelson is like, "I'm not very good at goodbyes, so that'll do, pig. That'll do." And Jesse Eisenberg's like, "That's the worst fucking goodbye I've ever heard." Yeah.
He's like, "And you stole it from a movie."
And you stole it from a movie, yeah. Yeah. Which, funny enough, forever, for some reason, "That'll do, pig," I was always like, "Oh, that's probably like a fucking Western movie or something." And then I remember when I eventually looked it up, isn't it from like Babe, like the pig movie? Yeah. Yeah. And I was like, "Oh,
like the pig shepherds all the sheep into like pen in record timing,
yeah,
without the farmer doing anything."
Yeah.
And he was like, "That'll do, pig.
Yeah.
That'll do."
And not dramatic at all, what I thought it would be, but So Jesse Eisenberg loads up on a motorcycle, and he's taken off, but he immediately like falls over and eats shit. So Woody Harrelson kind of chuckles, and he pulls up next to him, and he's like, "Well, come on then, let's hurry up." So they get in the car, they take off. The girls are getting chased by zombies, so they go to like, I don't remember what they call it, like the drop down ride or like zero gravity.
Parachute drop or something.
Yeah. And it's the one that will take you up and then like drop you down, and it feels like your stomach moves up and shit. And it's one of those rides. So they do it a couple times, and then when they get down to the bottom, the zombies start trying to climb onto them, and then they would get sent back up. So now, as they're at the top and they're starting to come down, the little sister like shoots the control box, so they stay up there, so they're able to breathe for a minute. Woody Harrelson and them show up. Woody Harrelson's like, "Oh man, it looks like they might actually need our help this time." They see them at the top, like calling for them at the ride, and so Jesse Eisenberg's like, "Oh shit, we gotta go over there." So Woody Harrelson's like, "All right, well you go, I'll clear the way." So he takes out some blowhorns, whatever you want to call them, and he's got like the vest, yeah, and he's got like the two shotguns on the back, and all the, and he just starts leading all the zombies away with the air horn. So they go chasing after him. There's a great part with Woody Harrelson at Carowinds. I remember they always called it Ricochet was the name of the ride, but it's like the little 4-person cart that the whole part of the ride is just that you take corners really fast, so it feels like you're about to fall off. And he gets on that ride, and he's just like shooting people with a shotgun as he's going along the ride.
I like the other one better, where he like holds on to like the swinging apples, whatever.
Yeah, he's like going
just
around
spinning in a circle, and he's like,
yeah.
That's cool.
Jesse Eisenberg is running around. He goes in like a haunted house at one point, and like some zombies get caught on. Okay.
Wouldn't that be the stupidest fucking place ever to go?
It would.
A haunted house.
People in horror movies are just attracted to haunted houses when they're trying to get away from villains.
It just does make any sense. I'm like, why would you go somewhere where it's just...
Yeah, especially this guy who has so many rules that, he's got, thinking about where to go and where not to go and shit. Woody Harrelson locks himself in like this prize booth or whatever, like we mentioned earlier, and it's a super cool scene. It's playing this super cool dramatic music and shit. He's like pulling the gates closed. He's got all his magazines lined out. He's down to like 2 pistols and shit. And he's like, come on, come and get me. So he's like just spinning around and just shooting zombies, and he like reloads on the table and stuff. Jesse Eisenberg gets over to the girls, but his final task is there's a clown zombie, and he's like, fuck this clown, I'm gonna kill it. So he runs over to the strongman competition and gets the hammer, and he like hits the zombie in the stomach, which causes the zombie to fall over, and then he squishes the zombie's head. You get the of the nose, and he kills the zombie. He gets over to the ride, brings it back down, saves the girls. Emma Stone like gives him a hug, and then whispers to him that her name is Krista, because the whole time they've been calling each other by where their destination was, because they didn't want to give names to get close to people. And then they get a little smoochy smooch in.
The hair thing,
He does the hair thing, yep. He did earlier, he had a part where he's like, where they first meet the girl, and his narration, he's like, someone's in danger of getting their hair moved behind their ear or whatever. Yeah. And I thought that was good. It goes over and we see that Woody Harrelson has survived in the prize booth. Like I said, I feel like they should have killed him to add like a little, some weight to what's happened, but they don't. Jesse Eisenberg goes to find him, and he's like, I think I know where he'll be. And he looks over, and there's like where you get the food, and it's got a sign for deep fried Twinkies on the outside. And Woody Harrelson's like tossing the place apart, looking for these Twinkies, but he can't find them. They hear a noise, and Jesse Eisenberg like turns around and shoots the door to like a back room, and they open it up, and a rat goes running out. And then they look over, and Jesse Eisenberg has shot the box full of Twinkies. And Woody Harrelson is like, oh my God, I can't believe you've done this. He's so distraught, but the whole time, I'm like, dude, look on the shelves behind you. There's a whole bunch of Twinkies just lined on the shelves. But he never mentions them. And then they hear the cars start up outside, and they're like, these bitches are leaving again. So they go running out there, and the car's like pulling off. And then they stop, and they're like, haha, just joshing. And the little sister throws Woody Harrelson a Twinkie, and he devours that little fucker. And then they're driving off, and Jesse Eisenberg signs off from Zombieland. And that's the end of the movie. So, there you go. This movie had a budget of $23 million, made a box office of $102 million. Yeah, so there you go. And it wouldn't be until 10 years later that they made a sequel that they really never needed to make, but they did for some reason.
Horribly.
I don't know if it bombed. I know people didn't like it, but
bombed horribly.
Yeah, we'll go with that. But yeah, and that one, like, I don't know. Who made $122 million? Oh, it had a bigger budget, though. It had $48 million budget and $122 million more. So it made $12 million more than the first one, but it also had $20 million more dollars used for it. But yeah, they didn't really need to make another one. To be fair, I think they were trying to make a sequel to it, like a year after this one came out, and it just took forever to fucking make it. For a while, Zombieland 2, if I remember right, was like the Deadwood movie, where they were always like, we're making the Deadwood movie, and then it just was never happening. And like the people who were in Deadwood were like, yeah, it's probably never gonna fucking happen. And then like way later, it just came out. So, but anyway. Deadwood, however, is a show that needed a movie to wrap up stuff, and then it wrapped up some stuff and then just left other things completely wide open. And it was like, well, I guess we're never getting answers to those. It took fucking 15 years to get one of these. I can't imagine we're going to get another one. So, anyway, shout out to Deadwood. Let's do best of, worst of, Tyler.
Best of, worst of.
There you go. For Zombieland. My best of is gonna be the Eddie Van Halen joke, because I love it. It's great. I laugh at it every time. I don't know why. It's a simple joke. It's fun. I think really you could say that the best part of the movie is just Bill Murray himself, but I'll narrow it down to the one part. And so that's my best of. Worst of, weirdly enough, like, I think I might just say, like, the clown thing. Like, it seems weird. Like, I'm trying to think of something else to pick, but I don't know. Like, the clown was so anticlimactic. I said that weird. But, like, and it doesn't even take, like, a lot to kill him. It's, like, one mallet shot to the gut, and he falls over, and then just, like, a hit to the head. And, yeah, I don't know. Besides that, maybe just him, like, falling in love with that girl, even though everything up to that point has just been them ripping him off. But it's kind of hard to, like, rip apart a movie like this for, like, a plot like that, when really the whole movie is just, like, haha, fucking Bill Murray's dressed up as a zombie and shot, you know? So, anyway, Tyler, what's your best of, worst of for Zombieland?
The worst of is going to be really weird. But, it's when they first get to Bill Murray's house, and for some reason, Woody Harrelson's like, take off my boots.
Yeah, come on, take off the boots. Help me out. I'll get them myself. Yeah. That was your worst stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. He was just vibing, man.
He wasn't. He was way too happy.
Way too happy, yeah.
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 I don't know. I guess my real worst of is, or best of. I'm trying to think. There's a lot of good little one-liners in there.
A lot of one-liners in this movie.
I saw myself as Woody Harrelson way too much, and it made me feel bad about myself.
No.
I'm thinking. I just can't think of anything. Any good point of this movie.
Yeah.
It was all just mediocre, you know? Nah, it was just decent. It had good parts, but, like, it's really weird comedy. Like, you know, when he wipes his tears with money, and I'm like, what?
After he just talked about his dead kid.
Yeah. But it didn't make, it's like, why would you use money for that? Another part where the girl, like, wanted to take a shower, and she's like, don't even say it. And I was like, why can't you take a shower? There's two of you. Like, one person can watch the door, and the other person can take a shower.
I just took that as, like, you know, in all these zombie fucking shows nowadays, they're always like, what'd I do for a shower? So she's like, I don't even want to hear you say it, because, like, they just have gone so long without it.
Yeah, but
and then she spells it out.
Emma Stone, you know, looking like $1 million, like, perfect makeup and everything. Hair and everything, you know?
Yeah, they're not very dirty for a fucking zombie movie.
I mean, they went out of their way to make Woody Harrelson look dirty.
I don't know if they did. I think that might just be Woody Harrelson. He's just dirty all the time.
There's a part, like, when he sprays him with the perfume and he turns around and you can tell he's just fucking dirty as fuck.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I fear there'd be more illegal drugs in the movie.
No, that comes in the sequel. Yeah. The sequel, they also, like, instead of them going to Bill Murray's house, then Woody Harrelson, like, loves Elvis. So they, like, go to Graceland. Believe it or not, there is no Elvis zombie, from what I can remember. Like, they don't dig up Elvis out of the ground, which I feel like they kind of should have. But, yeah. I don't know. I think all the zombies still look really good in the movie. Which that kind of just, I mean, all the zombies are like practical makeup and stuff, so it's hard.
Except for the clown, but yeah.
Listen, the clown with his little like gross vomit stuff coming out of his mouth, like, yeah. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, it's an easy watch. Like, there's not a lot of plot. There's a couple fucking jokes. There might even be some farts or two. I can't remember. This seems like a type of movie that would have farts.
That's no Lighthouse.
It's no Lighthouse. Yeah, it's nothing. Nothing is really. But anyway, I think that's about it for Zombieland. Like I said, I thought this would be
It's pretty straightforward. Not like a deep thought movie. Like,
yeah. So
you're allowed to have those. It's just a good watch, right? I gave it a 5.
You did, yeah.
The pacing was good and everything. I wish they didn't do the double dick over with the girls, but you know, it is what it is. So, but
yeah. But anyway, and so like I said, we got no plans to watch the sequel anytime soon, but maybe I'm sure one day we'll probably watch it, but I'm not in a rush. Not in a rush to watch it. So yeah, that's the end of Zombieland. Next week, Tyler.
Ujo.
Next week, Tyler. I feel like we're gonna start something. I told you we were gonna start.
Oh fuck.
So the way I see it, how many movies are there even? I think there's 6 or 7. Is that right?
I don't know.
There's
anyway. Eating all the pills on my desk.
Anyway, it's been a while since we've gone through a series. It's been a while, and it's been a while since we've dived into one of the mainstays, one of the big guys. Which coincidentally, he's not a big guy at all.
Would you call this a series? Dive into some.
It's a yes. You could have probably just said serious dive like that.
No. Serious. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Never mind.
Yeah. So
shut up. You just shut up.
Yeah. So the way I see it, next week we're gonna watch Child's Play, and we're gonna start going through the series. The way I see it, we could do it because I don't really want to just do them all. Like, we're gonna do 7 weeks of Child's Play. So I was thinking we could do like 1 and 2.
Backwards?
No. We could do like 1 and 2, and then maybe like break, do a movie the next week, and then do 3, 4, another movie, like that, 5, 6. And I think there's only 7. There's 1, 2, 3, and then there's Bride.
Are you counting Bride of Chucky in this? Because that's not Child's Play. It's called Bride of Chucky, so it doesn't match.
It's all the Child's Play thing.
No.
There's Bride, there's Seed, and then there's Cult, and then there's Curse. And I think that's it. I think those are all the movies. Oh, and then there's the remake one with Mark Hamill as well, which I don't know. I don't know if we'll watch that one. Honestly, I keep saying it though. That movie's not bad. Like, if they didn't call it Chucky and just made it a completely different like doll type thing, because there's so many different things that they didn't need it to be a Chucky movie, but Chucky was like, that's the money maker is Chucky. So, but
doesn't it have that Aubrey Day lady?
Aubrey Plaza, Aubrey Plaza. That's it.
If I watch all these, are you gonna buy me a My Buddy doll?
I don't think so.
Son of a bitch.
I every time I look them up, they're like $900. I'm like, oh shit.
Listen. The new one's got to be cheaper.
But no one wants a new one.
I mean, I don't, but
yeah,
I mean,
so
let me see how much a My Buddy doll is.
You don't need to.
We both need one, though. Chucky doll.
Now you gotta admit, because you can get one for like $100, but it's like a foot tall or something like that.
30 inches. That's not bad. That's 2.5 feet.
Oh yeah.
I wonder if that's how big he is in.
No, he's like a.
Isn't there?
He's like a.
Isn't there a way to
4 foot
chat
tall
in
or
this?
something.
Oh, here it is. Oh, what? Why is that image still there?
Oh yeah, don't pay attention to that. But anyway, next week Child's Play, and then the week after that Child's Play 2, and then we'll watch another movie, and then we'll resume Child's Play. That's how I think we'll play it. Yeah.
I mean, well, I'll watch whatever, I don't care. But there is a $14 Funko though.
Yeah, I think I have a Chucky Funko. No shit, maybe I don't.
This dude don't even know what he got.
No, I got a lot of them. But anyway, that's the plan for upcoming. And then the movie that we'll watch after Child's Play 2, I got it picked. I feel like we're going to watch it, and neither one of us are going to have any idea what the fuck is happening. Because it's from a director who's 3 for 3 for me. But I feel like since he made a horror movie, it can probably be pretty weird. So
who's the director?
He's the guy who made District 9, or is it District 8 or District 9?
He's District 9. Okay,
District 9, and he made Chappie and Elysium. I don't remember his name, but he's like what even nationality is he? Is he like?
He's half insect, apparently.
He's a half insect, yeah.
Spoiler.
But he made a movie called, I think it's just called Demonic. It's like a horror sci-fi movie. So in 3 weeks, look out for Demonic. There you go. So now you know the next 3 weeks what we're watching. So next week, tune in. Child's Play, classic. We're diving in. I wonder how because me and Maverick watched it a couple years ago, and I seem to remember it's a really well-made movie, oddly enough, and the Chucky reveal and how they make you wait and shit, and then obviously then Child's Play 2, it's out of the bag and he's just killing everybody. So I have a feeling Child's Play 2 is going to be much more entertaining than the first one will be, but we'll find out. So look forward to the Child's Play marathon coming up. Some shorts, I'm sure
we watch other stuff in there.
Yeah, we'll be watching other stuff in there. Shorts be popping up. Link to the gaming channel and everything in the description. Yeah. So there you go, Tyler. Got anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah. I just been suffering with nihilist thoughts, and not sure that life matters. In the end, we all die alone. It's a crazy world we live in. That's all. That's all.
That's right. Next week.
The only thing in life worth living for is the podcast, right? Next week is going to be a doozy.
Next week is.
I'll tell you what. When we stop making them, that's when you. Never mind.
When we stop making them, me and Tyler just kill each other. It's just game over.
Well, I meant them. The fans could. That's when they.
Oh, they could end it.
Yeah, they can come hang out.
I like
wink,
it.
Wink.
Hey. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks, Papa Hades.
Yeah, thanks, Papa. Yeah, we've covered all his picks.
This movie.
Oh no, we don't. He has one more that we haven't watched yet. But
if it's like Jurassic Park 7, I'm sorry, Papa.
It is not. It is not. But
what is it? Do you know?
I Am Legend. I don't know if I ever watched that movie from beginning to end. So, but anyway, so we haven't watched that one. One day we'll get around.
I Am Legend. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
What's the other one I hate more than anything?
Don't you say it.
iRobot.
Oh, iRobot. Okay. It's been years since I watched that. I thought you were gonna say Hancock, and I was like, motherfucker.
I'm not a big fan of it, but it's just because I thought they were pushing political stuff. I thought you were gonna say Men in Black.
No. Men in Black's a classic.
Yeah, but
Men in
if I
Black
said
2,
that,
also a classic.
what's the last one that doesn't have Tommy Lee Jones in it, but for like
Men
3
in Black
minutes?
3. Yeah. And then Will Smith goes back in the past to young Tommy Lee Jones, played by Josh Brolin. And then they made the 4th one, which is fucking Chris Hemsworth and the chick who plays Valkyrie. And it's them, and that movie was terrible. So
Did you watch it?
yeah, I watched it.
You did.
Yeah, it was pretty shit. So anyway, all right, next week, Child's Play. See you there.